Okay, so the next inventory unboxing video, this first piece right here is the Mystic Circle. As you can see, there's going to be a little bit of boiling and resetting that's going to be needed for this. So those instructions should be in the little flyer that you got, care and painting of your bones. So it's pretty nice set. They do come together in a circle if you want, or you can separate a piece, make it a little bit more rune-like. The pieces, let's see if I can zoom in here and get a good look. Now each of the little nubs has a letter or number indented into it, and then let's see if I can get it to show up here. And there's a corresponding version on the inside. Now for the most part, it's going to be pretty obvious which one goes to which. So that one to that one. So the big piece will be basically this one and this one, figuring out which one goes to which. Now, if you just force it, you can make them both fit, but as you can see here, this one is just quite not big enough to span the difference. So if you have a little hard time reading the little etchings, then these two, this one will fit in nicely here, this one will fit in nicely here. This one can be forced over here, but you can't quite force this one to over here. Alright, and let's sweep that aside and move on to Kira and Labyrinth. Now, unglued and just dry fitting, this is kind of an unstable model, but it's got everything it needs to be to stabilize once it's all glued up. So a little bit of picture here. Now, what might be concerning to some folks is that this is the spear for the right arm into here. Now this, let me get my finger in shot, is the sword for the left side. Now the arm isn't missing, it's just sculpted as being held close to the body. And as you can see, there is the tiny hole for the sword piece to fit into. So let me zoom back out so you can kind of get a scale of that. So, alright, set that one aside. And yeah, see how easy that one falls apart. Alright, the next one is Kyrphixus. I hope I'm saying that right. So I've got both the regular version and the clear version. So let's see. So from the front, so some of the joints, to make them fit better, you can try to boil it a little bit and get a little snugger fit. What's surprising is it kind of looks better blended in on the clear one. Let's see if I can make the camera focus better on that color. So there's the base. It does look pretty nice clear. Wrong direction. So Cure Frixis seems to be a lot more stable in a dry fit version. So there's that gap between the wing parts and the body. So you could try to fill that in with green stuff, but really that's not quite the purpose of bones. So if you wanted to be that detailed, you might be better off getting the metal one. But if you can't afford to get the metal version, or you can't find the metal version anymore, then some things to take note: a little bit of boiling, maybe a little bit of filing to get a little bit better fit inside of the seam, and then maybe a little bit of green stuff to fill that in. All right, so now on to the one, oop, I just broke that one. So now on to the one that my wife likes, and that is the little chibi Bunzavanians. So alright, so here on this side is the horror, and this side are the undead. So let's see if we can get better lighting. So we've got the knot fly. We've got a knot mind flare, or the Bethalion as Reaper calls it. We have a witch, looks like a bat boy, or the bat side of the vampire transition, a pumpkin, living pumpkin one. Here we have what is it? The Swamp Thing. There is your werewolf, your scarecrow, Cthulhu, or well, not Cthulhu, death, mummy, skeleton. You can see in the background Frankenstein, not Elvira, the mummy, evil Casper, Nosferatu, and the more notable version of vampire. So some of these are gonna want to be boiled just to get the base to lie flatter. Otherwise, they kind of are tippy. Esme is starting to be a little bit more balanced. I don't know why, but they are real easy to knock over. So a little bit of boil, and then definitely use your bones bases or some other base to make them more stabilized. And we're gonna just sweep them away. And I think this is the one in this video that a lot of folks want to see. And this is the redesigned, resculpted Froggamoth. So here we go. Alright. So you can see all bumpy and scaly and pussy. And here's the back side. And again, so here's this part of the seam part. So maybe a little bit of green stuff put in there, or some kind of other putty. This particular tentacle arm, probably a little bit of boiling to get it to fit in the way it's supposed to. But for the most part, fits in pretty nice dry fit. So the side shot of the mouth and the little eye stalk. So once some clean and prep has been done, a lot of this seam stuff will go away. But if it's still pretty major, a little bit of if you don't have green stuff, I've heard some folks using some gap filling super glue to fix that. So Alright, and that is the end of this particular video. And I might have to wait till tomorrow to do some more. It's almost 9 o'clock here, and I'm using my shop light, so you're getting a lot of cross-casting shadows. Alright, thanks and have a good day.